Welcome to the Story Nebula. Join us for captivating spoken word tales across all genres. Hit subscribe, leave your story suggestions below, and let's dive into today's tale. Echoes of the Past. In the far reaches of space, aboard the sleek, state-of-the-art Starship Odyssey, Captain Mira Ainsley was known as a stalwart leader. Under her command, the starship traversed galaxies, exploring uncharted worlds and fostering peace among diverse cultures. For years, she had endured the weight of leadership, navigating through encounters that tested her resolve and intellect. Yet, on this particular day, a rare moment of respite descended upon the crew as they charted a course toward the nebula known as the Gray Spiral. The starship hummed gently against the backdrop of the cosmos, the crew working tirelessly yet efficiently in their assigned duties. As Mira strolled along the bridge, her thoughts wandered. In her mind's eye, she saw the countless lives touched by her decisions, the alliances forged and the perils averted. But as they approached the nebula, a strange and unexplainable occurrence began to entwine her thoughts like a vine creeping around a tree trunk. First Officer Aidan Calloway sat in his command chair, reviewing star charts. He looked up as Mira halted, her brow furrowing as energy readings flickered across the control panel. "What do you make of this interference, Aidan?" she asked. He straightened, a tinge of unease rippling through him as he analyzed the data. "I'm seeing temporal distortions within the nebula, Captain. It's possible we'll encounter disruptions in our timeline as we pass through." Before Mira could respond, the ship shuddered violently, the lights flickering as the control panels erupted with warnings. "All hands! Brace for impact!" Mira shouted, gripping the armrest of her chair. In an instant, they were engulfed by a bright flash, the ship spinning wildly through the fabric of space and time. When Mira opened her eyes again, she found herself seated in her captain's chair, yet around her everything felt different. The dull thrum of the ship had transformed into a tense silence, sporadic alarms resonating ominously through the bridge. A quick glance at her crew revealed a disquiet in their expression, a hint of something amiss. "Aidan?" she called out. But he didn't respond. He appeared lost, staring at the view screen. Mira rose, her heart pounding, and moved beside him. The stars had shifted, and on the screen she saw a vessel, a massive warship emblazoned with insignia she did not recognize, bearing the name Ravager. "Status," she commanded, trying to pull Aidan from his trance. "There's a battle on the screen, Captain," he said slowly, his voice trembling. "A battle that we shouldn't be witnessing. The Ravager is in direct conflict with a civilian ship. This isn't just a skirmish, it's full-scale warfare." The realization crashed over Mira like a tidal wave. What happened during that temporal shift? We're not in our timeline anymore. Someone else's history is playing out before us. Tensions drilled deeper as the reality set in. They were witnessing the remnants of a past long forgotten, an alternate timeline that had upended their own. The ship lurched again, sending Mira reeling. "We need to know why this happened," she declared, determination flickering to life inside her. The crew began to analyze the readings, piecing together the remnants of their former reality. While they decoded the information, a familiar voice broke through with urgency. "Captain, we're receiving a distress signal from the civilian ship." Mira nodded sharply. "Open a channel." On the view screen, the weary visage of Commander Celine Rourke filled the monitor, her expression a mix of desperation and defiance. "This is Commander Rourke of the Starlight. We are under attack and require immediate assistance. Our systems are failing. We need help." Mira exchanged a glance with Aidan, a silent understanding passing between them. They would help turn the tide of this conflict. "Commander Rourke, this is Captain Mira Ainsley aboard the Odyssey. We're on our way. Hold tight." Aidan maneuvered the ship into position, aligning their weapons with the Ravager, now looming ominously in the void. Mira felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders as she prepared to step into the chaos. As the Odyssey engaged in battle, phaser blasts and explosions rippled through the expanse. Mira felt alive, her purpose reaffirmed in the heat of conflict. "Target their weapon systems," she commanded. The ship shuddered under the fire of enemy blasts, but her crew responded with swift determination. "Direct hit on the Ravagers." "Shields!" Aidan shouted, fingers dancing over controls. "We're gaining ground, Captain!" Just as the tide began to shift, the ship was engulfed in chaos as time flickered and warped around them. Mira closed her eyes tightly as the energy surged, vision bursting with brilliant white light before fading once again. When she opened her eyes, the bridge transformed into a strange amalgamation of familiar and alien. The crew appeared altered, older, weary, as if they bore the weight of years that had never belonged to them. Commander Rourke stood at a tactical station, a haunted look crossing her face as she regarded Mira. "Captain?" Rourke's voice trembled slightly. "This can't be happening again." "What do you mean?" Mira's heart quickened, sensing their timelines were intertwined. The tension escalated, an echo of the past converging with the present. Rourke glanced around the bridge, her gaze landing on Aiden, whose expression reflected confusion. "You don't remember. I altered everything. I tried to prevent the annihilation of my crew, but instead, we're caught in an endless loop." Mira's mind raced as fragmented memories swirled. "You sacrificed everything to save them, didn't you?" As the implications settled, Rourke nodded solemnly. "Yes, a temporal fissure brought us here, and we keep repeating the moment. I made that choice. Each time, we lose more of ourselves." The crew exchanged glances, realization lighting their expressions. The timeline had spiraled into chaos, yet they had the chance to break the cycle. Mira stood firm, a new resolve cementing within her. "We have to find a way to correct the timeline. We need to return to the moment of the fracture to set things right." Aiden hesitated, frowning as he considered the repercussions of their actions. "But, Captain, altering time could mean erasing everything we've done, everything we are." "True," Mira shot back, "but if we don't act, we remain trapped in this cycle, doomed to endlessly relive the horrors of war." As they synthesized the data from both ships, a plan began to emerge. They initiated a direct link to the Starlight's warp core, creating a bridge through the chaotic temporal waves. "On my mark," Mira shouted, adrenaline coursing through her veins. With finality, she engaged the engines, thrusting them into a swirling vortex that intertwined the fabric of time itself. The bridge vibrated, sounds of chaos swirling around them as they transcended reality. "Now!" Aiden yelled, and in unison, they fired both ships' full resources at the nexus of energy that bound their timelines. A brilliant flash erupted, engulfing them in a cascading wave of time. When Mira regained her senses, the bridge felt strangely warm, brighter. She instinctively looked around, breath catching in her throat. Everything appeared intact, the faint hum of the Odyssey filled her senses. But there was an eerie silence, nothing being said by her crew or Rourke. "Status report," she demanded. Aiden blinked, his expression slowly morphing from confusion to relief. "We're back in our timeline, Captain. We're safe." Mira felt her heart soar. They had done it. The Odyssey and the Starlight had broken free of the grief that tethered them to a brutal cycle. As they regrouped, Commander Rourke stood at the center of the bridge, looking solemn, yet relieved. "Thank you, Captain. With your actions, you've saved both our ships and restored the course of history." Mira searched Rourke's eyes, sensing an understanding between them. "You fought to protect your crew at any cost, and that's a reminder of the sacrifices we all make as leaders. History may change, but the weight of our choices remains." With that realization pressing on Mira's mind, she understood the fragility of leadership, how intertwined fate and choice could lead to both salvation and destruction. Rourke smiled faintly, the weight of her own burden lifted as she stepped back toward her ship. "Take care, Captain Ainsley. May your journeys be brighter than the shadows of the past," she said, the warmth of understanding engulfing them. As the figures of the Starlight receded into the stars, Mira felt a sense of hope bloom within her. They had wended through the fragile seams of time and emerged intact. The Odyssey, free of the echoes of lost battles, sailed onward toward new explorations and mysteries. Days turned into weeks as the crew at last celebrated their return, savoring each moment of camaraderie. Mira stood at the helm of the bridge, her eyes gazing into the expanse of the cosmos, a tapestry woven with endless possibilities. She reflected on the sacrifices made, not just in battles fought, but in the choices they made every day. The stars twinkled like dreams on the horizon, and she knew that every journey would continue to shape them as explorers. As they ventured forth, Mira carried the lessons learned embedded deeply within her, the threads of destiny bound in the fabric of time, forever echoing the resonance of choices that defined the essence of who they were: leaders, protectors, wanderers in search of the profound truth nestled amidst the cosmic expanse. "Set a course for the nearest star cluster and engage at warp speed," Mira called out, determination lacing her voice. The Odyssey surged forward, a vessel of hope charting a new course for the infinite horizons that awaited them, leaving behind the fragments of Echo's past. Thanks for visiting the Story Nebula. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, keep your imagination soaring.